Hey guys, how you doing? This is Independence, and this is pretty much the longest 3 versus 3 match that I've ever done in my entire WoW life. We were playing Warrior hpally, and we fought a Moonkin Mage Healer. So I'm going to be doing commentary for this 3 versus 3 match, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So we start off the match with getting a lock portal on our team, and right now we're just sitting by the tomb, waiting for all the invis to come out. So they start off with a Ring of Frost Nova on us all. I dispel myself to get out of the Ring of Frost. The lock ends up sitting a full Nova. I get hexed over here by the Shaman because I failed to line of sight it. So now the enemy team is getting ready to get their dots and burst up and ready. They used a deep and a little bit of basically baby burst on my warrior. They used a blanket CS, which I aura mastered out of so I can stay ahead. And the enemy druid cyclones me. I set this clone because I don't want to waste trinket too early against this team and use guardian. So now I'm popping some heals into my warrior and I hodge the shaman so we can possibly get some pressure out on the enemy team. My warrior blade storms with some damage cooldowns up. We end up getting the warrior really low, the mage really low, to like 20%. I throw some more CC on the shaman. He gets knocked out of it, and then the mage throws some CC on me. I end up trinketing that CC. In hindsight, I probably didn't have to trinket it, but I didn't want to get lined up in a big CC chain. So now they throw a cyclone on my lock, and they deep switch to my warrior with a blanket silence on me into a clone. At this point, I have bubble, wings, and another hand of sack. But I'm trying to save these cooldowns for as long as I can, because by now I realize this game is going to be pretty damn long if we do happen to live through their burst. So now I'm trying to use as many instant casts as I can. I failed to juke the wind shear right there, so I get kicked. And now my wings are up, so I've been doing as much healing as I can with them up. The shaman's sitting a full fear. He didn't have tremor. So now I'm running over to get a really risky hodge, and that ended up in me getting full polyed, which was not the best idea on my part. Once again, we're just sitting on the mage, trying to stop poly, stop damage, etc. We get him down to like 30-40% here. I get polyed. No one on their team has trinkets, so I hodge the Shaman full. Now I'm about to get a full repentance on him, but I end up getting hard locked by the mage who ran over. The mage realized that any amount of CC on the Shaman right now is pretty bad, so that's what we're going to be aiming to do. We get a lock on the Shaman into a full rep, and they make a switch to my team's warrior. The enemy mage is still going really low, though, even with the hard switch onto the warrior, so he ends up having to block. We get a full fear on the Shaman, in which he tremors it, and he's starting to cast Hex. I get Cyclone, so he decides to not Hex. Now he's healing his teammates up. I get Solar Beam Vortex here, but the Vortex wasn't that great, so I ended up being okay. I bubbled the extra CC, however, so that I can sit here and free cast for a little bit. Right now I'm going to top off my warrior. My warrior decides to Blade Storm. The mage doesn't have any more blocks, and we can do as much CC to the shaman now as we want, so that's the goal. Just dump as much into the shaman as we can and go mage. However, the warrior was kind of ballsy and he decided to switch shaman, which I really didn't like because I believe the shaman still had Spirit Link Totem and I don't want both of these casters free casting. So pretty soon here we realized that it's not going to work, we have to switch back mage. And the warrior, as you can see right now, is targeting the mage, getting ready to make a switch back. The druid's casting out cyclones on the DPS to try and stop some pressure, so right now pretty much only the warrior is doing damage. I'm sitting in the back trying to maintain my max distance from the mage and from the boomy. However, the shaman's up in my face and there ain't much I can do about that. They're going hard on my warrior once again with another deep. They blanket CX me over Hex. I have Trinket up once again, but I don't have Bubble and I don't have Aura Mastery. So I'm sitting this full clone. And I also have Guardian up again, so in case I need that. I Holy Shock, and I'm just doing some minor heals right now, trying to get him up. Pretty soon I'm going to pop some cooldowns. Use Holy Shock. Getting him up right now. I'm not too concerned because I'm actually getting really lucky procs. And I was really lucky on that CS. That was actually really stupid on my part. I trinket this poly. And right now we're just doing as much damage as possible. That's all we can do right now. We finally get the enemy team's Spirit Link Totem. And I start whacking at the enemy team's Manatide Totem. Right now everyone on their team is moderately low, at least half health. So we have the upper hand, so I'm able to sit pretty much all the CC at this point without too much of an issue. The enemy shaman is actually running out of mana because of the amount of pressure that our team is doing. It's pretty sad that I'm still at full mana. I just want to point that out. However, the enemy team is doing a lot of pressure. I'm just capable of keeping on top of it with all of my cooldowns being spread out. Now, right now, the enemy team is trying to make one last effort at kind of getting some counter pressure on us. So they're trying to push out some CC. My team's not letting it happen. We fear them. They use a Tremor Totem. Mage is really low at this point, like less than 20% execute range. The Shaman right now is shitting his pants. He doesn't really know what else to do. Everyone's low. I don't think anyone on their team has any defensive cooldowns at this point. So right now my job is to just keep my team offensive so they cannot recover from this. I don't have Dispel, so I wasn't able to dispel the ring. I end up getting full polyed. Right now, my DPS are being controlled, and I can't do anything about it. So the enemy team recovers a little bit. They're up at about like 70 to 80% right now. They're in a stable position, and they're starting to do a lot of pressure to my warrior. This is when I get really scared because I thought that we lost the game right now. Because now I'm sitting a full clone, I'm sitting all this CC, and I don't have any way of stopping this pressure. So right now, both of our teammates are really low. I get some lucky procs, I pop wings again, and I'm using all my instant casts to try and get my team up. It works, used my cooldowns, kept them up, and I just had all my cooldowns coming back off cooldown when the enemy team had no cooldowns to stop it. They weren't able to CC me, so I was able to heal through all of their last minute burst right before the mage ran out of cooldowns and basically just died. It was a long game. A lot of mistakes were made, but it was a really fun game. I do enjoy these really long games. I probably won't be uploading many of them because they're ridiculously long and annoying to commentate. But I hope you guys enjoyed this one. So comment, like, subscribe, favorite, and let me know what you thought about it. Thanks, guys. I'll catch you guys in my next one.